So we're going to start standing as we did on Tuesday. So keep your feet slightly apart. So if you look down, remember we were tracing the second toe. So if you look down, look at your second toes next to the big toe, and they should be parallel to one another. And then you can rock gently forward and back. And then to the sides, find the balance in your feet. Micro bend your knees. And then feel the first heavy mass of bones, if you like, which is your pelvis, the container, then your rib cage, and your head, all this connected with your spine. And then you have your navel here, from where we're going to radiate out in all directions in our movement. So you can bring two hands onto your navel, one above the other. And you might remember when we saw each other on Tuesday, you had one hand on your sternum, eine Hand auf dem Brustbein, and one hand on your sacrum, eine Hand auf dem Kreuzbein. So see if, although your hands now are on your navel, you can remember that on the exhale, you push the sternum down, and on the inhale, you push the sacrum in or forward. And then notice how there's a central axis running through your body. And the tailbone, if you were to reach your tailbone down, it would root down into the earth. That's like your taproot. And then from the pelvis upwards, there's this centrifugal movement which lifts your body up. Remember, you had a tall cap on your head, as if you extended out and beyond your head. So sense that being. And this is the basis for all our exercises, this centeredness. So we're created around this central axis. May we have the courage to work with our core, with that which really, really matters to us, and with our hearts. And then release your hands down. On the next inhale, take a large breath. Arms reach from your shoulders all the way out to the side. And on the exhale, with slightly bent knees, both hands come together without touching. And you gather the energy, as it were, in the central channel. So in your own time, inhale is reaching out. And with the exhale, as if you were gathering all the prana, the chi, the energy into this vertical axis of yours. It's opening up and gathering. So if you remember Ujjayi Pranayama, that's the breath, the ocean breath, which makes a slight sound when you breathe. See if you can tap into that. As that will assist you in making these movements slow and very, very conscious. So you stay aware of the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes while you're moving. Okay, continue a couple more times. And then release your arms down. Turn your whole body over towards the right. Bend your head, your neck, and roll all the way down the right-hand side of your body. Your arms are heavy. Then to the center. And now pushing through your feet, roll up vertebra by vertebra. The same way we started the last time, warming up the spine. We twist around the core and then we roll down. Keep your knees bent, your arms heavy, your head heavy. And then back to center and up again. We do that one more time in your own breath rhythm, allowing your body to roll down one side. Feel it sweeping to the center and then feel yourself rolling up again from your feet. Okay, so this will activate as well a sense of centeredness and also a sense of midline of the center here, of the middle. And the next time you come up, you release. Beautiful. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Right hand with the palm facing towards the left is going to move over the center of your body as you reach the left arm over. If you're pushing something away, beautiful. Coming back to center, and then immediately we're going to move to the other side. So you're pushing away, and you can push all the better and continue this movement. The more you connect to your feet. So notice how your legs are involved here with the core. And we'll see that in a moment when we lie down. Continue this movement. And then the next time you did it to the left, release down, shake out your arms. Okay, very good. So we're going to start lying down. So to get down, come into a squat. Okay, so get used to doing this. Squat all the way down. Come back up again. That's it. Okay, squat all the way down. Back up again one more time. Drawing up through the center. Super. And then another squat. Fantastic. So we're going to lie on one side. And if you have maybe a soft cushion, or I should have told you to take a blanket, something for just underneath your head. You could also just roll up your mat. And we're going to lie on the side here. Okay, so nice and comfortably. Your knees are on top of each other, unless you feel that you like something in between the knees, and you could maybe place one of your blocks in between the knees, just so that your hips feel nice and comfortable. Okay, so the bottom arm is reaching out from the shoulder. And we're going to invite you to bring your hand here into the side of the body. So between the hips or the pelvic bone and the ribs. Okay, that sort of soft part there. Okay, so we're going to feel into the core of the belly. Now lift up your head and bring it back down again. So lift your head up all the way, as much as you can, and then bring it back down again. And while you're doing this, so you can change the movement, you can make it larger and a little bit smaller. You could even turn your head. Just observe what's happening here in the core. So in the center here. So you'll notice that your body is constantly stabilizing itself, okay, even though nothing could really happen because we're on the ground, and it connects in this stabilization process to your core. You'll feel the core muscles there. And then do smaller movements and see if you can still feel the muscles engaging and which ones engage. And then release the hand. Let's take a moment to relax here. It's quite challenging lifting the head like that. And then bring your hand back again. And then lift up your leg. You might want to take the block out. Just lift the leg up. And then stretch the leg and lift it. And observe what's happening there in your center. Bring the knee closer. And then further away. Okay, so here again, you'll notice how the core is working. We want to become present and conscious of these muscles in this very subtle movement. The more subtle our movement becomes, the easier and more effective it will be in the end. And then release down. Take a moment to rest. And now we're going to add head and legs. We're going to lift up the head and stretch out the leg. And just notice, you might want to bring your leg forward and back as we did standing up. And notice all that's happening here in the center. And then release down, turn onto your back. And take a moment here with your legs outstretched, your arms outstretched. Just to sense the two sides of your body. With very, very little movement, but actually you can activate quite a lot. And then we'll go on to the other side. So you just turn around. You can put your head on a blanket if you want. You could place something in between your knees if you wanted. And then just find your core by placing your hand here in the nice fleshy part between your pelvis and your ribs. And then we'll start just by lifting the head. Okay, so now you'll probably notice, even though we're on the other side, you're suddenly more aware of what's happening in the core. So see if you can sort of distinguish which muscles, where they are. And then release, take a moment here. And then we'll continue with the leg. So place your hand back into the fleshy part and then lengthen your leg out, bend it, move it backwards and forwards. And just notice how everything in the center is trying to stabilize you here. Okay, so explore that and then release. Take a moment to relax, to let go, to allow the body to absorb this information. And then place your hand back onto your lower belly, onto your side here, and then we're going to lift head and leg. And just observe all these muscles that are firing up. And then release, turn over to your side, release your legs down, your arms down, and take just a moment to savor the effect of this exercise. Super. And then bend your knees, bring your hands together in front of you, so at shoulder height, so the hands are facing up towards the ceiling. That's the front. Okay, look into your hands. And then on the next exhale, bring your arms and don't bend them over towards the right and curl your body off the ground. Okay, so especially the left shoulder blade is off the ground. And then come back to the center and then do that again. So we'll stay on the same side just to notice the difference between both sides. You come back and then you move up again. So keeping your hands towards the ceiling when you come back, and then on the outside of the right leg when you come up, and see if you can curl your right shoulder up as well. So you'll notice that you're also massaging your back here, and especially the shoulder blade on the right-hand side. And keep doing this 3 more times. And then come back, release your arms down, release your legs down. Take a moment to sense right side and left. So we're constantly jumping the sides also because our brain then remains more active. Okay, so new neurons, new connections happen when we're aware of one and the other side. And then of course we integrate both. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So bend your knees. Bring your hands up in front of you, fingertips facing the ceiling. Toes are on the ground, so all the toes, fingers together. And then it'll probably be an exhale that will bring your arms up and past the left leg. And see how high you can go, and then back to center. Up and past the left leg, back to center. So these are slightly different muscles than the ones we just activated lying on our side, but you might recognize some of the side ones here which are involved. Okay, 3 more times. And then come back to center, release your arms, release your legs. Take a moment again to integrate the movement. Fantastic. And then knees bent, feet on the ground. And now we're going to lift up the right knee towards us and push the toes away from us. So the right knee is about 90 degrees above the hip. Okay, so try and keep it at 90 degrees. And then the other leg is going to outstretch. Just stay like this for a moment. And not on the ground. Push your pelvis into the ground and let the lower back stay off the ground. Okay, just the pelvis. Okay, super. And then bend your left knee. Place both feet on the ground and relax here. Super. The other side, left knee up 90 degrees. Push the foot away from you so it's an active leg here. And then stretch the right leg out and let it hover above the ground. And push the pelvis into the ground and leave space for the lower back. So we keep the arch in the lower back. 12th rib moves down. Arch stays. Pelvis moves down. And then come back, release, feet out to the side. Let your knees move in towards each other. Take a moment here to relax. We're going to do that one more time. So right foot up, stretch out your left leg, and now we're going to bring the arms facing towards the ceiling and then up to the outside of the right leg and back overhead. Right leg, overhead, right leg, overhead. Last time. Right leg, overhead. And then release. Both knees together, feet to the side of your mat. And take a moment to enjoy. Okay, so when we do this type of exercise, it's really the sort of a blissful moment when they're finished, right? There's some sort of deep satisfaction that happens. Okay, and then we'll do the other side. So left knee 90 degrees, push the left foot away, active leg. Lengthen your right leg out, arms up towards the sky, fingertips facing the ceiling, and then come up to the outside of the left leg with both arms and then release them behind you. One last time. And then release the arms, keep your knees towards each other, feet out towards the side. And then we're going to bring both knees in towards us. Keep your arms out to the side, 90 degrees from the shoulders, both knees together. And then we're going to roll the knees over to the right and straighten the legs a little bit. Go over to the left and bring the knees back in. So basically creating circles with the knees and moving the pelvis at the same time. So notice how your core is going to stabilize. Push the knees in towards each other. If they tend to separate, you can even put a block between the knees to try and keep them together. Beautiful. And then we'll go straight to the other side. So make that circle move in the opposite direction. Super. And then release. If you took the block, release the block. Let your legs move down, lengthen the legs out on the ground. Take a moment here to relax. And then both knees come up, hands facing towards the ceiling. And now we're going to move the hands in between the legs and lift the head up at the same time. So see if you can lift both shoulder blades off the ground and then back and arms behind you. So we can do this quite dynamically if you wish. But try to be very mindful in your movement. Okay, so you sense everything. Two more. And then release. Legs can come down, arms out to the side, and relax. So we're going to turn over to the right-hand side, keeping our head here in the right hand, left hand in front of you. So we're on our sides, yes. Probably guess what's coming. And then the exercise we did on Tuesday, remember we were sort of loosening the leg here. We're loosening the psoas. We'll do this here now in the side. So allow the leg to go forward and back. Your body remembers these stabilizing muscles when we did the very first exercise. Forward and back. And try to keep as centered as possible. So imagining maybe that your navel is the center of this movement. Super. And then bend your knee. Grab onto your toe if you can, right, with your peace fingers. Okay, so you can stay there. If you want, you could stretch out this leg. Let's see how far that stretch goes. Super. And then place the foot down again, the leg down again, and we'll move straight to the other side. I'm going to turn round, but I can still see you. So left hand is holding your head, right hand here to help stabilize, and then just move your leg forward and back. So get used to the movement and see when you can do it with very, very little sort of wobbling. So you're really centered. And remember, the leg is a pendulum hanging off the psoas muscle. Beautiful. And then bend the knee, grasp the big toe with your peace fingers, index and middle finger, and then see how far you'd like to do the stretch today. And release down, come back, turn over onto your belly. Bring your hands together, fold your fingers together, as we did on Tuesday in the forearm stand. Curl your toes. And then see if from here you can move up into a plank and down again. Super. So come up into a plank by pushing back through the heels, pushing down through the elbows, and then release your body down very carefully. Okay, so no pain anywhere, but just this sort of fascination with how you can lift yourself up off the ground like this, pushing down into the elbows. So just do that 2 more times. And then release down, hands underneath your shoulders, come up into onto all fours, and then back into child's pose, keeping your arms out in front of you and bowing your head down. Allowing the back of your neck to open and your breath to move along your arms and underneath the armpits. So you have a sense of buoyancy. So light arms, light shoulders. And then come up onto all fours. And we're going to reach the right leg back and then over to the side as far as we can, and then back to center. Over to the side, back to center. So try to keep your arms straight, and notice now again how the center of your body is, how your core is stabilizing this leg the whole time. And then release the right leg down. Take a moment here. And then bring your head into your knee. Same leg, right leg. Head into knee. And then stretch the right leg back and your head forward. So we know this movement. But now maybe more focused on the center. So continue and notice how you curl in and how your body is stabilizing through the central axis. And then release, sit back into child's pose. If you want, you can come up onto your fingertips, bow your head down. Allow the back of your neck to open. Your breath to move into the lower back especially. And then come back up onto all fours. And this time your left leg is going to reach out and back, and then over to the left and back to center. To the left and back to center. So you're swaying it sort of from side to side. You could even go over the midline if you wanted. Just observe how, again, you're stabilizing this center. And then release. Now the other direction, so forward and back, so knee into navel, head to knee, and then open. And find in this movement, as you repeat it, you're going to find a breath rhythm which suits the move. One last time. And then come back, release, sit back onto your heels, allow your head to drop down. And then from here, we're going to come up onto all fours, plant your feet, your toes into the ground, and move back into downward facing dog, keeping your navel, the center, in towards your spine. So navel towards the spine. Allow your head to drop. Open the backs of your legs, reach your arms along. Allow the breath to move underneath the armpits so you have strong shoulders. Beautiful. And then walk your hands forward, your feet forward in between your hands. Feet stay apart, remember second toe. And then slightly bend your knees, press down through the feet and roll all the way up to standing. Okay, so you're standing here again. Notice possibly something has changed around the center. So you might feel stronger, different posture. And now we're going to bring both feet together. So if you wanted, you could put a block in between your thighs, just to remind you to stay strong in the middle. Okay, so bring a block between your thighs, knees come together. Lift your arms up as you sit back. And on the exhale, let your arms come back, but you stay seated like this. Inhaling up. Exhaling, arms come back. Up. One last time. And then stretch your legs and bow your head forward, squeezing the block, fingertips to the earth, bow down deeply. And then bend your knees, hinge your way up to standing, both arms up. And then exhaling, arms down by your side. Super. And take away the block. Now we're going to cross our arms. So as we did at the beginning, arms come out on the inhale. On the exhale, left arm above the right arm, crossing your arms. And then cross your lower arms and bring your hands together, Garuda Mudra. Bend your knees. And here we're going to move in to bring our elbows in towards the core as we curl the body. And then lift the elbows up as we reach towards the sky. So curling in, basically the same movement we did on all fours, but a slightly more challenging version. Move into the center and up. 2 more times. And then stand up straight. After the next time, open your arms out wide and release them down. Okay, so you can feel that in the core as well. Beautiful. Arms out to the side. And then bring your right arm above the left. Interlace. Hands are touching. Bend your knees. Lifting your elbows up. Inhale. And then exhale, curling in. Continue this movement in your own breath rhythm. And notice what's happening here in the body, how it's trying to, again, find its center, find its core. And to practice this at a physical level helps us, of course, also to mental level to reconnect with our center. One more time. And then standing up, reaching up towards the sky and releasing your arms down. Okay, shake out your arms, shake out your legs. So one gentle moon salutation here with the focus on the center. Both arms come up towards the sky on the inhale. Exhale, bow down deeply, head to knee. Crown of the head comes forward on the exhale. Right leg moves back, right knee to the ground. Both arms up towards the sky. Exhaling, hands down. Front leg goes back. And then from here, we'll place our lower arms on the ground, interlace the fingers, and do a plank on the forearms as we did at the beginning. Feeling strong and centered here, your eyes clear. And then bring your knees to the earth, let your belly move down. Hands underneath the shoulders, strong legs. Remember these pendulums reaching back. Next inhale, coming up into Cobra. So you might notice your Cobra has changed. Exhale, moving back. Come up onto all fours. And from here into downward facing dog. So the left leg, long and strong, reaches up towards the sky. Your eyes come forward, left foot comes forward, right foot follows, bow down deeply. And then from here, from the earth, reach up towards the sky. And then seal this movement, this vinyasa, with both hands in front of your heart. And then we'll do the other side. Inhaling, coming up, eyes come up. Exhaling, reaching down, head to knee. Crown of the head comes forward, left leg moves back, left knee to the ground. Both arms come up. Feel the center here. You're moving from the center. Hands come down. Front leg goes back. Lower elbows or lower arms on the ground. Interlace the fingers. And then find your plank here. So see where your hips are, move them down, move them up, and find the perfect position. And then knees to the earth, whole belly reaches down, hands underneath the shoulders, come up into cobra. And then coming back onto all fours and back into downward facing dog. So with a strong core, your movements can be fluid, but they'll have a different sort of feel to them. So they're moving from the center. A sense of clarity. Right leg reaches up, eyes come forward. Long, 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 long leg. And then right foot forward, left foot follows, bow down deeply. And then pushing down through the feet, come up, arms up above you. And exhale your hands in front of your heart. Super. And then feet apart as we move down into a squat. Okay, like we did in the beginning. Just come up again. Very good. Down one more time. Up and up again. Okay. And then down. And then stay down. Yes, it's good to practice. It also charges up the center. Beautiful. So find a comfortable sitting position here. Bring your knees in towards you. And then bring your legs up 90 degrees. Hold your hands behind the knees and draw the knees in towards the chest. Keep your chin parallel and push your feet away from you, so active legs. And then maybe take the block, place it in between your thighs. If you don't have one, it doesn't matter, but if you do, it just intensifies. And then both arms over to the right and up and to the left. So basically what we did lying down, now in a seated position. And we're not going to stay too long, so just bear with me. One more time each side. And then when you come back, remove the block, bring both feet together. Place the block in between your feet. And then bow your head down. If you can, place your forehead on the block. So maybe your feet will need to be a bit further forward. And maybe you like to have them very close, whatever suits you. And just release the frontal cortex onto the block and you hold it with both feet. While your neck is bent like this, always use the opportunity to find width in the back of your neck. It's often there what we find we collect tension. So imagine the muscles melting away. Place the block to one side. Bring your feet parallel to one another. Arms come forward and then very gently we're going to roll down. And remember on Tuesday we wanted to not use the strong muscles that you notice here, the rectus abdominalis, but the deeper core. So just go down very slowly, bringing your belly button in towards the spine until you release down completely. Beautiful. Keep your left hand on your left pelvis, on the left side of the pelvis. Right leg up towards the sky. And then bring your right leg over to the left. down towards the foot, over to the right, and back up again. Okay, so big, big, big circle with the right leg. And see if you can remain centered here. One last time. When you come back to center, grasp onto your knee with both hands and just let your right knee come in towards you. Apanasana. And then place the foot back on the ground. Lift up the toes and push the heel into the earth until your right leg is stretched out. And release. Left leg comes up towards the sky. And we're going to bring the leg over to the right and then down and out to the side. So these leg rotations were part of the traditional, very old Hatha Yoga practice because they allow us to release, and they also bring us back to our center. So we're not only opening the hips, but we're engaging our center. One more time. Bring the left knee in towards you, grasp the left knee. A couple of deep breaths here. Then place the left heel on the ground and draw the heel down, pushing it away from you, and release the leg completely. Your arms out by your side, 90 degrees, so shoulder height. Bring both knees towards each other. Feet on the ground, then lift up your pelvis and bring it slightly over to the left, and then let both knees roll over to the right, one knee on top of the other, and let your head look towards the left. Allowing your breath to flow deeply here. And notice how this twist creates new spaces inside. The opportunities to meet your breath. And then bring your knees back to the center. Press through your feet, lift up the pelvis, move the pelvis over to the right, and let both knees tumble towards the left and your head towards the right. So in this sort of relaxation or beginning of relaxation, you might want to make it a habit to just check in with your jawbone. Is your jaw relaxed? Can you let out the tension in your jaw? Can you maybe open your mouth wide and just make sure that you're not holding anything there? And then gently both knees back to center. Bring your pelvis into the middle. And now here, if you wanted, before we go into Shavasana, you can bring your block, if you have one, underneath the pelvis. Yes, underneath the sacrum. And then you can stretch out your legs and stretch out your arms up above your head. So your pelvis, your hips are elevated, and you lengthen the rest of your body. In this pose, you can just allow for gravity to do its magic. If there's any sign of discomfort, then just bend your legs and then take out the block and come back again. But otherwise, stay here for a couple of moments more. Gently bend your knees. You can readjust the block and then bring your legs up towards the sky. Readjust your shoulders maybe, and then release your legs. Allow the day, everything you've experienced today, just to move down your legs. So holding, we often hold water in our legs, which is energy, of course, in fact. Just let anything that's stagnant there, just allow it to flow down. Your jaws are relaxed, your eyes are relaxed. Just observe what happens if you stay in a posture a little bit longer than what you may be used to. Notice how the sensations change. Although on the outside nothing has changed. Notice if your breathing pattern has changed. Very gently bend your knees, place your feet on the ground, lift up the block, place it away, and then allow your whole body to relax down in Shavasana. Allowing the back of the palate to move into the ground behind you. Your jaw is relaxed. Your jaw, your ears. How you perceive, so the yin part of our body in the ears. And your eyes closed and heavy. Eyelids heavy. And your brow, your forehead, becomes nice and broad, curious. And you can travel from your head down the spine, allowing it to settle into the earth, your bones to settle, your muscles to melt. You take up your place in the web of the earth. Whole body is relaxed. The whole body is relaxed, and yet you sense clarity and centeredness. Your core. Then very gently coming back again, I invite you to deepen your breath. Take a big, big, big stretch. Your arms outstretched, your legs. Dance your toes, your fingers. Make a big, big yawn, maybe. Ah. And then in your own time, roll over your side and come up into a seated position. And we'll take Shunya Mudra. So bring your thumb on top of the ring finger and the other finger stay outstretched. So the thumb on top of the ring finger, other fingers outstretched, palms facing up. And take a moment to settle into this knowing that there's both a core Shunya, the emptiness, the spaciousness around. We are both fullness and emptiness. You wish you can stay in meditation, savoring this quietness, this centeredness, this core of yourself, hopefully with more clarity, knowing where to set your boundaries, knowing what's good for you. I thank you very much for coming. It's always a great pleasure to practice with you because I feel you there on the other side of the screen. So much.